Mike Hughes spent most of his life running toward danger while everyone else ran away. As a firefighter, he faced flames, collapsing walls, and moments where seconds meant the difference between life and death. He is retired now, but there is one rescue that never left him, one moment that followed him long after the sirens stopped. It happened years ago, on what seemed like an ordinary shift. The alarm rang at the fire station, sharp and urgent. A family home was on fire. Mike and his team arrived quickly, following protocol without hesitation. But the moment they saw the house, they knew this one was different. Half of it was already destroyed. The structure was unstable. Smoke poured out of every opening. Flames clawed at the walls as if the house itself was giving up. There was a real risk it could collapse at any second. Still, they had to go in. Part of the team attacked the fire from outside. The rest searched for an entrance, knowing that if anyone was still inside, their lives depended on what happened next. Mike was among those forcing their way in. Inside, visibility was almost zero. The heat was unbearable. Every breath burned. Mike moved fast, checking every place a person could be. Closets, corners, bedrooms. Then he saw it, a crib. In the middle of the smoke-filled room, barely visible through the flames. Mike rushed forward and looked inside. Curled up in the crib was a baby, trapped, helpless, 9 months old. Mike didn't think. He reacted. He knew the house was seconds away from being fully consumed. Another 20 seconds, and the outcome would have been very different. He lifted the baby from the crib and ran. Moments later, the child was safe, alive, breathing. The fire was eventually controlled, but by then Mike was already moving on, helping his team, finishing the job. He never learned the baby's name, never saw her again, but he never forgot her. Years passed. Mike retired. Life slowed down, except in his mind. The memory of that rescue returned again and again, late at night, in quiet moments. He wondered what had become of the baby. Was she okay? Did she grow up healthy? Did the smoke harm her? The questions had no answers. Eventually, the not knowing became unbearable. Mike decided he had to find her. Mike's search began quietly. He spoke to former colleagues, but no one remembered the baby's name. The case was unforgettable, yet anonymous. It frustrated him, but he refused to stop. Then his mother had an idea. She had saved newspaper clippings from throughout Mike's career, articles she was proud of. As they went through them together, one headline caught his eye. "She's alive." It was the story of the fire. For the first time in years, Mike had a lead. The article mentioned the baby's name, Danielle Davidson. She would be 17 now. Mike turned to Facebook. The name was common, too common. Still, he sent messages, dozens of them, explaining who he was and what he believed he had done. Most replies led nowhere, until one message changed everything. Danielle was confused. She barely remembered the fire. Her parents had told her pieces of the story, but never the whole truth. And a message that simply said, "I think I rescued you from a fire," was hard to believe. So she tested him. She asked a question only the real firefighter could answer. "What was my mom doing?" Mike replied instantly. "She was at work. Your father was there." That was it. Her parents confirmed everything. Danielle was the baby from the crib. Mike broke down. 17 years ago, he had carried a child out of the flames. Now he was speaking to a healthy young woman, an athlete, a student, full of life. They stayed in touch, forming a bond neither expected. Then one day, a letter arrived. Purple and black, formal. Inside was an invitation. Danielle was graduating, and she wanted Mike there. When they finally met in person, tears flowed freely. Not of sadness, but gratitude. Of realization. Of everything that could have gone wrong, but didn't. Mike once said, "She was the third person I ever pulled from a fire, 3 times a charm." Sometimes, a single moment of courage doesn't just save a life. It shapes 2.